Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for One Piece chapter 1047. When we last left our heroes, Onigashima was burning, and everyone was trying to do something to stop it, and very little was working. Except for, of all people, Raizo. And we learned that when Raizo was on Zou, he was so, traumatized by the fire that burned down Kozuki Castle back in the flashback, that he collected a bunch of water. Zunisha got water from the ocean to, bathe itself, I think, and Raizo sealed a bunch of that water away in his scrolls, just in case there was ever a fire again. He would never, let people be caught up in a fire the same way the Kozukis were 20 years ago. And so he and Jinbei working together are able to flood the castle and seemingly put an end to the fire. We don't spend enough time with them in the aftermath of that move to really know how effective it is, but it seems to do most of the work at stopping the fire. Meanwhile, the fight with Luffy and Kaido is sort of starting to, reach its climax, which is a problem for Momo and Yamato, because if and when Kaido loses this fight, the flame clouds will disappear and Onigashima will drop. And if Momo cannot get the flame clouds ready in time, or get his own flame clouds ready in time, that's bad for everyone. So, the pressure is ramping up for him because this is coming to an end, and Momo has to be the one to stop it. He's the only one with the flame cloud powers. And so yeah, with that all said, let's dive right on in chapter 1047. We got this color spread, which is a little interesting. It's just the Straw Hat crew at the beach, relaxing, having a good time. The issue is, everyone here is a Straw Hat, except for Momo? Which, this could be taken as foreshadowing that Momo is going to join the Straw Hats, but that's, so unlikely. Momo's at the very bottom of the list of people I think are likely to join the Straw Hats. I'd put Kinemon and Kiku over Momo, and they're also at the bottom. But yeah, it's a nice little cover, nice little 2-page color spread. It's fun. Very starting to feel like summer, even if it is only April. Anyway, chapter 1047, The Sky Over the Capital. And we open back with Yamato and Momo still having the same conversation that they ended off on last week, as Yamato tells him, "You can do it, Momonosuke! Make those flame clouds!" But Momo tells him, "It's not that easy! I can't do it! They won't appear! He's trying!" But there's just little poofs of smoke, and that's really it. "I can't!" And then he also has a flashback to the day the castle burned. And Toki tells him, "Momonosuke, go with Kinemon and the others. And when you reach the future, 20 years from now, you must rebuild the strength of the Kozuki clan." And Momo, back when he was young and had not had all the adventures he's had, sobbing, "But I can't!" So, obvious echoes going on there. "You and Hiyori come with me, mother!" But Kinemon tells him, "Lord Momonosuke, this is the hardest of all for your lady mother." And Momo stops crying to turn to Kinemon, and Kinemon tells him, "This is the land of samurai, a place where shame is as heavy as life itself. If a man argues with a grave decision that a woman summoned all of her courage to make, he does nothing but shame her." And Momo has the fairly sensible protest there, given that he's 6 years old at this point. "But I am a child!" And Kinemon bows his head here. "If you'll forgive me for saying so, in the wake of Lord Odin's passing, you are not just a child anymore." And then he raises his head. He's crying now, too, for Momo's sake. "If I may speak freely, will you give us another chance to fight? If our lives are only going to be given over to the flames, then I would perish, then blah, 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 blah. I need my water, and I still don't have my water bottle with me. Then we would prefer to perish for our liege, with blades in hand. Will you allow us to die as samurai?" And Momo is taken aback at Kinemon's declaration. And Hiyori reaches her hand out to her child, "Momonosuke," and Momo rubs his eyes and walks over to his vassals and tells Hiyori, "Mother," and turns back to her now, just weeping. Excuse me. "I'm ready, mother. I will go." "Good." And then we cut back to the present as Momo. This did not turn out to be him finding the inner strength to win this thing. It's just him attacking himself here. "I'm failing my mother! Stop! Don't go to the capital! Don't go that way!" And yeah, he's, it really does feel like Momo just doesn't have the strength for this. He does not have enough skill of his flame cloud powers to, like, control the island. I don't know. And then we come back to the rooftop where Kaido and Luffy are still going at it. Though remember, if and when Luffy wins this thing, and if Momo hasn't done what he needs to do, that's real bad. When we last left Luffy, he had grabbed the lightning bolt, is what we had last seen. And Kaido comments, "So you grabbed the lightning, eh? Whoa, 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 whoa. Preposterous." But Luffy doesn't really care. He's still throwing that lightning. Gum gum! Lightning! And he throws the lightning right for Kaido. Kaido jumps out of the way and tells him, "Play all the games you want." And he's readying his club like a fucking baseball bat. And Luffy sees that and he can't really get out of the way because he's like mid-free fall. And Kaido smacks Luffy. Gwah! But then he grabs another bolt of lightning. And, like, instead of using it as, like, a javelin here, he uses it as a pole to spin across, to, like, catch himself. And Kaido goes on as Luffy, like, throws himself at him. "Abilities alone cannot conquer the world." And Luffy's gonna, like, knee Kaido. Gum gum! But before he can, Kaido jumps past Luffy's knee to smack Luffy in the face with the club. "The world is convenient that way. Roger didn't have any fruit powers." And then he slams Luffy to the ceiling of the roof of the dome, and we see the ground, like, contort like rubber around Luffy. And Luffy jumps right back up, and Kaido goes on, "Because only Haki can transcend all." But we see, as he says that, and I guess is gathering some Haki in his club, Luffy is also gathering Haki, like armament Haki, it looks like, in his fist, this part of the arm, to, like, block the attack or something. "Destroyer of Death! Thunder Bagua!" And he just smacks Luffy hard there. And Luffy, he's got this, like, cartoon, whack on his head. And, like, the full-on birds, he's a fucking cartoon character. But he's still conscious enough to grab onto Kaido's, like, not even his shirt. He's not wearing a shirt. He grabs onto his skin, but it moves like a shirt. And Luffy's, like, sent flying up into the sky, the arm's still attached. And Kaido looks at the arm kind of confused, and he tries to, like, pull it off of him. And he, like, smacks Luffy's arm with the club. "Let go of me! You're only telling me where to find you. Dragon Twister Demolition Gust! You still have a weakness to cutting attacks, I presume." And yeah, back in his full dragon form, he does those, like, wind blades up at Luffy. And Luffy, dodges out of the way of them, but he takes some nicks here and there. And he, like, grunts back against the pain. Because, he's taking some serious damage from a fucking Yonko. And then we cut back to the capital, which, inevitably ties into our title, The Sky Over the Capital, as they're finally releasing the lanterns. Send them off to the deceased, and there they go. Let the sky boats fly. Keep her steady. The festival is coming to an end. And tomorrow we'll be worked like slaves again. And it's a little bit unclear here if the smiling is just them trying really hard to keep that brave face for what remains of the festival, or if they've, like, these are all people who ate defective smiles. Keep her steady! Keep her steady! I hope I get to live another year. Well, one way or another, whether because Onigashima has crushed you all to death, or because Kaido is defeated, your slavery will end tonight. Though, we'll see if that's for better or for worse. And then they keep on, watching the skyboats go, and we see Toko laughing. "Ha ha ha! Keep her steady!" And Tenkayama's there with her. "Find the way to daddy!" But then, we get this shot, though. The point of this whole scene is to see that Onigashima's here. It's, just about above the capital. It's barely off the capital. This is it. This is the moment where if Momo can't do this now, even if Kaido's still standing, everyone loses. But we're not focusing on that right now. We're still focusing on Kaido, who yells at Luffy, "Let go of me! Come down here, Straw Hat!" and he unleashes the blast breath at Luffy, who's, cartoon charred there. Luffy coughs. And then we cut to inside the Skull Dome. As, the battle is starting to wrap up there. And someone comes up to Hyogoro. Are you alright, boss Hyogoro? It seems that Onigashima is in danger of falling. And Hyogoro laughs. Ha ha ha. That just means we're pressuring Kaido. And he turns to his surviving men. Tell me then, which would you prefer? If the Straw Hat fellow defeats Kaido, we will all fall to our deaths. But if we survive, it means Kaido's won. But the men all tell him, really? It's not supposed to be a debate. I've got children back in Hakamai, and my wife is in Ringo. Another samurai tells him, if we win this battle, I'll rest assured. They can lead a good life. How wonderful that would be. We'll have a country we can be proud of again. So, these guys don't know about what Momo is trying to do, but there still is this sense that, there just seems to, I still imagine Momo will end up winning in the end, or he'll end up succeeding, everyone's not gonna die here, this is One Piece, yada yada, and yet there really is this sense that, Momo has already failed. I don't know, it's a weird thing. But the samurai all cheer, go ahead, Straw Hats, crush Kaido, and don't worry about us! And Kid is not exactly on board with this, and I think this is one of the Beast Pirates, though, who snaps, are all of you samurai insane? Every last one of us is going to die! But Hyogoro just questions him, and what's wrong with that? And then we cut to the basement, where Usopp and Hamlet are still running from the fire. I don't want to die! I don't want to die! Yow! I refuse to die! Not me! I'm gonna live no matter what it takes! And then the water from Raizo and Jinbei's move sweeps the two of them up. What? Water? Then we cut to the treasure repository on the second floor, back with Hiyori and Orochi, who I guess is still alive? So either as Orochi was burning up, or as the island is crumbling, the nail that the Hiyori stabbed into Orochi comes loose, and he's no longer bound by the sea prism. There, it's out! Some vibration jarred the sea prism stone nail loose. At the very least, I can take you down with me. And so yeah, Orochi is still not fucking dead. How many times do people have to take this man down? Can't he just, he first got decapitated around 60 chapters ago. And yet, the man won't fucking die! Just fucking stay dead, Orochi! At a certain point, you have to just fucking die. But he transforms. At the very least, I can take you down with me. Are you watching, Odin? I'm taking your precious daughter. To hell with me! And Hiyori, she has no powers here. She's lost all of her she doesn't have any more deception she can pull. She's sort of on the back foot here. And then we cut to back outside. I think this is Luffy calling. Hey, Momo! And Luffy looks up. Huh? Luffy? And both Luffy and Yamato look on in shock. What? And Luffy has this utterly giant hockey-infused fist. My instinct tells me, looking at the black coating, is that it's armament hockey. But given everything this arc has been about, or given the sort of focus on the Conqueror's hockey infusion from earlier in the arc, that might be Conqueror's hockey. I forget if Conqueror's hockey colors things the same way that armament does. I don't quite remember, but I don't know. I'll say it's Conqueror's hockey because that's just a better story there. But yeah, a giant fucking fist the size of real big. It's real big. I'm gonna put an end to all of this. But Onigashima's in the way, so move it! And Yamato calls, he's going to punch right through the island! And Momo is just, Luffy, no! But Luffy tells him, do it, Momo! I believe in you! What? And Kaido looks at that, to be continued. Okay, so we're off next week. All of Jump is off next week. It's not really another hiatus so soon after the last one. But, something about the way this is framed. Something about the way, this hit is tied with Momo moving the island, the way like the last two threads of Wano are wrapped up in this one punch. Excuse me. I do believe this might be the end of the fight. I think we could be witnessing the last hit of Luffy versus Kaido. Which, I don't know. Like, it's good. It's a good... Well, like, I'm trying to find the right way to phrase this. Because just... I can acknowledge that Kaido is taking a shit ton of damage, right? But, at the same time, it somehow doesn't feel like he has... I don't know. I'm trying to find the right way to really frame this. Like, I don't know. Maybe I would like it. Maybe I would, like, if it felt like this hit was a climactic moment, this sort of, you know, the end of this, like, there was some thematic thing tied up in all of this. But I think the issue is, and again, this might not actually be the end of the fight, so 1048 might come out on the 8th, and it's just like, none of these concerns matter at all. But it sort of feels like, if this is how Kaido goes down, it feels less like this climactic victory, and more like, you know when you fight a boss fight in a video game, and you're just like, white-knuckling it, hoping that his HP goes down before yours? That's sort of what this feels like. Like, it's not... you know, some dramatic thing that brings Kaido down. Not this roaring climax of a story, but just this could be the moment he finally just runs out. Which isn't really a bad thing. I'm trying to figure out why it's bothering me, because it doesn't really make any sense to bother me. I acknowledge that it's weird that I'm bothered here. Because, like, it's not like this fight has been going on for, like, a short amount of time. It's not like a one-hit kind of thing. We've been fighting Kaido for around 50 chapters now. It's not nothing, and he's been taking continuous damage for 50 chapters. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like a lot. And again, that makes no goddamn sense. And yet, I don't know, I still got nothing. Either way, ignoring that for next week, there's some fun stuff, there's some real good stuff here. As like, you know, I like the echoing of Momo in the past and the Momo now. You know, the same kind of I can't. And Momo realizes there, you know, I'm ready, I will go, I can. And yet, strangely, that flashback does not lead to him saying, you know, like, you would expect that flashback to be, you know, the same I can't, you know, the I can't in the present, and then the I can't, no, I will in the past. And you think that would lead to an echoing, no, I will in the present. And it doesn't. The chapter is, like, infused with this sense that Momo is already lost. You know, like, the last bit we really see of Momo's self-doubt here is the I'm failing my mother, before we cut back to Luffy and Kaido and the samurai. And we get a little bit more of Momo at the end, but not really dealing with this question of can he do it. He's more just shocked at Luffy's latest ability. The only other bit we get about that is the samurai sort of accepting that, like, all hope is lost. If Kaido falls here, they fall with him. But damn it, they're gonna fall in that case. And, you know, even if they die, their families will be safe if Kaido is dead. And that's worth it. They'll die for that. Which is, you know, that's real good. But it's still it's still tempered with this sense that Momo has already failed. Which is interesting. Because I can't imagine Momo will actually fail. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing is all. I don't know. And there's still a few things around. Like Orochi is somehow, against all fucking odds, still kicking. You know, I think he's met his certain doom around 4 or 5 times at this point. And the man just won't die. Just fucking die. Like, goddamn, man, just die. But yeah, all in all, it really does feel like it's all gonna come down to this one last hit. And somehow, like, I cannot explain to you why it's not sitting right with me, because it should. Everything from a writing standpoint, from a logic standpoint, from a even really from a thematic standpoint, tying Luffy's victory into the climax of Momo's character arc. Him, no longer being the child, but like becoming this actual savior of the Kozuki. That's all well and good, tying those two things together, but something about it doesn't quite sit right, and I could not explain to you what that was. I don't know. We'll see next time if my weird, uncertain fears are founded, or if I'm just completely off base here. But for now, that's all I gotta say for this chapter. So I hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, do whatever makes it happy, And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!